Ching ching. Ching ching. So
he's Tony.
He's Borden. Welcome to Up at Night. We're going to talk about stuff we like.
Yeah.
Starting with Spectre. Saw Spectre this weekend. What are your thoughts? What did you think?
I'm not a big James Bond guy. I grew up with GoldenEye and everything, but
that's where I think I started too. Was GoldenEye.
Yeah. I think I watched the first Daniel Craig movie. I've always
seen the ones in between this.
No.
Oh.
I've liked him as an actor always, and he always makes me want to be a badass. But with this movie, it was the same kind of thing, where I had some issues with the movie, but just watching him is just.
He's a good Bond, honestly. Like, I've seen all of the movies. I'm pretty sure I've seen all the movies since GoldenEye, since Pierce Brosnan to now. And honestly, like, I like Bond. I think the character's cool. I mean, it's different between different actors and stuff like that. I haven't watched the classic ones, so like I know a lot of people are gonna like hate the fact that I haven't seen the classics because people love that shit. I mean, I want to go back eventually and watch them. I know they're probably gonna be corny as hell. But honestly, like, getting back to Spectre, great movie. I mean, I'm not going to spoil the storyline. I liked a lot of things about it. I like that they kind of, like, even though I haven't seen the old movies, I know the old, like, tropes that they were doing. Like not to spoil anything, but I like the fact that the villain had, like, a cat.
Yeah.
And, like, he had him strapped, like, in one scene.
Oh, still pussy.
Yeah, he had him strapped in that, like, machine and stuff. And, like, it brought me back to, like, even though I haven't seen them, like, I've seen those scenes that, like, they've talked about where, like, there's the laser beam coming down at Bond and stuff like that. Where, like, which isn't in the movie, but he's strapped to that thing.
Yeah.
And, like, he's doing the stuff with the computer. And you're just like, oh, this just, like, it reminisces so well on the old Bond movies.
Well, they did that. They did that in the movie, not to spoil anything. They had that kind of, you're in a trap you can't get out of.
Yeah. How's he going to do it?
Torture you. How's he getting out? One of my issues with the movie is, like, 2 seconds into it. With the whole intro with the octopus, it was borderline hentai.
Oh my god! Yeah, it kind of was. The song was cool. I like the song. Like, I found myself kind of like
Sam Smith.
Yeah, and when I spent the whole song being like, who is this? And then when they show the trailer at the very end, they show, or not the trailer, when they show the credits. They show, like, I was like, fuck, that's awesome. Like, I like the fact that it's him doing it and stuff like that. It's a good song. Like, it's not Skyfall, because, like, I found myself listening to that song, like, after I saw that movie. It did
set up the movie, though.
It did, and it worked well as a... Because, you know, they use that song as kind of like the background theme throughout the movie. It worked really well as a good theme and stuff like that. I just found like I liked the Skyfall song, because I just listen to that song all the time.
Once you get past that part, though, it kind of picks up.
It starts right out with a lot of action. Yeah. I love the whole thing, like
try not to ruin it.
Yeah, trying not to ruin it too much, but, like, I love the whole thing where, like, it's not giving too much away, but, like, the first scene where he's walking around, like, you kind of know it's him, but you don't know it's him. Like, he's walking around with the skull mask. He's in Mexico during the Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
And he's dressed up in the get-up, and then, like, he's with this, like, beautiful woman. They walk into the hotel room, or her room and stuff like that, and then they pan away to show her going on the bed, and they pan to him, and he's, like, in his suit. And he's like, she's like, where are you going? He's like, I'll be right back. And he's like, walks out the window. Like, that's so, like, that was so funny. I thought that was great.
What I find funny is that when I was thinking through that, I was like, okay, cool. He's like, yeah, I'm going to romance the woman till I get what I need, right?
Which is always a Bond thing, yeah.
But later on in the movie, that's not the case.
No, it really wasn't.
He literally is, like, making time to make sure that he's like, we got 5 minutes.
I'm gonna bang.
Let's do it now. Like, I killed 2 men.
I found that was one thing. Like, I mean, it's once again tropes, man. It's a Bond trope, but, like, I found the whole scene with Monica Bellucci a little weird, in my opinion. Like, you know what I'm talking about, right?
The blonde hair chick?
No. Monica Bellucci was the dark haired chick, the husband that he.
Oh, okay.
The wife of the guy that he killed.
Yep.
And, like, I just found that whole scene was kind of like not rapey, but, like, kind of forced almost.
Yeah, he's like, we're gonna do it because you're gonna die if we don't.
Yeah, and it was just like, she's like, oh, you've already, like, killed me and stuff like that, and he's like
right in her face.
And he's just like, he keeps, like, going closer and closer and closer to her, and then eventually they just start making out and bang, and I was like, what the fuck
in what world does this fucking happen?
Yeah, like, I was just like, is it just because he's, like, I guess they're just trying to stress to the point, like, he's just James Bond, like, he's just walks up and
I don't even think he got information out of her at the...
No, he just went bang.
Yeah, he was just like, killed 2 guys, we got 5 minutes.
Just saying,
Literally
whatever.
The whole movie after that, I was with a coworker of mine, and we were in the back. There was only like 10 of us in the theater because it was last night, Sunday night or whatever. Today's Monday, right? Or Tuesday?
Yeah, Monday.
Monday.
Don't worry about it.
No, You don't know the day. You're not allowed to know the day. So, in case we upload this at some time, if we ever get through that. This is like our 5th podcast. You won't see the other 4.
Shh. Anyway.
I kept saying through the whole movie, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, because Bond would give this creepy, like, eye to the women, and he's like, I only need 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, what?
I did like the Bond girl in this film, the French chick, whatever.
She was okay, yeah.
She was alright. Like, I mean, and like she was kind of interesting, just like character-wise, and obviously she was attracting because all the Bond girls.
I like how. Now you probably know the name of the actor, the guy from *Inglourious Bastard* that played the German.
I'm blanking on it right now. Christopher Waltz.
Christopher Waltz.
Oh my god, I loved him.
He was so
fucking awesome.
Yeah, he was great. Batista's in it, which...
What an awesome bad guy! What a great bad guy he was.
He only said shit the whole movie.
I know! That's one word. Total spoiler.
Shit.
That's the only line he has in that movie. And I thought that was great. Honestly, like, I mean, I used to watch wrestling as a kid and stuff like that, but it's just good seeing him. He's in a lot more movies nowadays. This was one of those, like, high-end movies that, like, he was actually good. Like, yeah. Like you said, it was cool that he kind of played that whole... He reminded me of, like... who's the dude? Like I said, like I know a lot of the stuff about the old films. I haven't seen a lot of them, but the dude that would throw the shoe, or not the shoe, the hat, and stuff like that. He reminded me of like a character like that, or like the dude with the metal teeth.
Yeah,
like, you know those. Like,
he's just the tough.
He's that bad guy. Because remember, what did he have? He had like the blade,
the nail on his finger,
or the thumbs. That was it. He used them to crush that guy's eyes, and like it was a cool scene, and like I just like the fact that he didn't say anything throughout it. Like the whole thing where they're like, oh, is anyone going to contest this? And then he just like literally walks in, just smirk, fucking like crazy, like. But like, and he was good because I like the fact that he was that one villain that kept like. He was that tough guy that Bond always has to face off against in the movies.
And he can't physically overpower him. He's got
to like do something smart or clever to do it. Yeah, exactly.
Well, and I called it too because I didn't see anything about Spectre before going into the theater, right?
Yeah.
I didn't really. It was a last minute thing. It's like, you want to go see Spectre? I said, sure.
Yeah.
So when we were watching it and you see the back shadow of Batista walking in, I'm like, bitch, that's Batista.
Yeah.
and then Gage, guy with me, is like, no. And it's like, Batista. He's like, how did you know it was Batista? I'm like, I know that back from anywhere.
I know those shoulders anyway. He's got the big hams on his...
Well, and then looking at the silhouette of Christopher
Waltz.
Yeah. I'm like, is that Christopher Waltz?
Yeah.
That's gotta be... Please be Christopher Waltz.
Please be him. And honestly, that was another thing. He made that movie a lot better just by being that, like, as soon as I found out that he was going to be the bad guy in this movie, I was sold on seeing this movie.
Yeah.
Because... I mean, obviously, Inglourious Bastards, he's such a
likable villain.
Good bad guy. I know. Yeah. What an amazing bad guy.
I want to watch a movie where he's just the bad guy.
And I don't, like, I'm not going to spoil the whole thing about his character because there's, like, a pretty big thing. I did think it got a little long in the end.
It's a long movie.
It was, like, what, 2.5 hours?
2.5 hours.
Yeah, like,
it really
it gets a little bit long, and I think it did that thing that some long movies do where, like, you think it's done, and then it's like, oh, here's the ending. Nope, there's another ending. Oh, there's another ending.
It sets an atmosphere, too, that I find, like, they do these long, like, they're in the Alps or whatever, the avalanche. It's more of a set piece than a story.
And you're right, a lot of people complain about that with those movies, about the fact that, like, it doesn't feel real half the time, where it's like, yeah, like, that, like, place in the Alps they go to, that feels like not real at all.
Well, just to find her, too. It wasn't even a central location where anything happened.
No.
He was just like, I need to talk to you in a meeting.
Yeah.
Like, he couldn't go to her home and, like, meet her or something?
No, he had to go to that place in the middle of...
Her place of employment.
Which she was, like, she worked at some, like, spa that was in the middle of, like, the fucking mountains. It was just, like, I get it, it makes for a cool set piece, like you said, but, like, it makes
it's no
real... But then again, Bond isn't realistic anyway. Like, I mean, It's definitely one of those...
It's one of those movies, if you want to sit back and you want to watch it and just enjoy a movie visually and just sit back
and
relax.
they're beautiful.
Yeah,
honestly, that's a big thing about the Bond films, and I will, like, say that about this movie as well. Amazing movie. Like, just to watch. Visually, like you said, like, visually, everything. The music, the set, like,
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig. And that's the thing, is I like Daniel Craig. Not to give anything away about the ending, but do you think this is his last one?
I heard it was. I heard rumors that
I've read that he's still under contract for one more movie, but there's a talk that he doesn't want to do them anymore.
Or, you never know, he could be... His last contract to do that movie could be just to pass on...
I mean, but
how does Bond work?
See, like I said, I don't want to give it away, but like the way it ended, it almost seemed like it was over. You know what I mean?
It seemed like he retired.
It seemed like he was like done. So like that's the thing is I don't know if they're going to do another movie where they like you said, where one more movie with Daniel Craig where he kind of like. But that's the thing is like the character of James Bond has always kind of been that like it's ambiguous. It doesn't matter who plays Bond.
It's like Doctor Who, but serious.
Well, the whole thing with Doctor Who is it actually follows a string of characters going from one to the other.
It's lore.
There's lore involved in that.
Yeah.
Whereas like this one. It's almost they kind of just don't mention. They just don't mention the fact that like I mean it's almost silly in the sense that like Judi Dench, the lady that played M, she was in the like a couple of this like it's almost funny the fact that she just like doesn't
never changed.
But like they didn't change that character like until later on obviously in the series. But like it's almost funny that like. It's like Bond changed, but she's just like nope, like just like totally like doesn't pay attention to that.
It doesn't make sense either. They could just, which I'm not a hardcore Bond fan. People might disagree with me, but wouldn't it just make more sense that the 007 name or the James Bond name is actually just a covert title? That's your employment contract name.
The 007 part is, but the James Bond character is like a set character from like the books that Ian Fleming wrote, right? So that's the big thing is like it is based on a character. But it doesn't matter who. That's the big thing about the movies. I find is it's one of those things where they almost doesn't matter who plays the character. It's just the fact that they're playing James Bond.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my next point. If they change it over, I know they've talked about a few different. I know there was talk about Benedict Cumberbatch.
They want him for everything.
But they want him for everything. The one actor that I've heard rumored about is Idris Elba.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Oh my god. And
that could work.
Honestly, that would be great. And, like, I think we're at that point now, like, just where people won't care the fact that he's black. You know what I mean? Like,
people make a big deal over in the States.
I mean, people will make a big deal about it somewhere, but, like, I just feel like, as a society, we've probably pretty much at that point where it's like, who cares? Like, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, while he's still kind of in his prime, too.
And that's a big thing, too. You have to do it now. I really think it'd be cool to have him as like Bond. Like he's one of my like when I heard like there was like rumors or just talks about him doing it, I was like, no way, that'd be perfect.
Or they'd be great for it. Well, like I'm trying to think of British or actors with a different who could do the British Bond type.
Yeah, there's a few other people they talked about.
What if they do like Gerard Butler or something? Like they could just go so wrong with this.
Yeah, I mean,
they need somebody because with. Daniel Craig, was he really big? I don't think he was big before these movies.
No, Daniel Craig was not.
See, that was a smart cast, though, because you pick them...
And you're right, you're right. It's
almost famous for it.
The only problem with most people that play Bonds is they don't want to get... Typecast,
yeah.
And that's a big thing for, like... Because, like, Pierce Brosnan, he wasn't necessarily, but, like, he played a lot of movies...
He wasn't as big after that.
No, but he did a bunch of movies afterwards, but a lot of those movies he did, like, he played that kind of, like... suave character, which is what he played as Bond, you know what I mean? So it's like, it is almost like that, like he's playing not the Bond character so per se, but like he does kind of get stuck in that role. I feel like
Daniel Craig has more range too, though. I could see him in anything and want to watch it. Because his Bond character is more smart, the way he vocalizes and talks with his people.
That's true, yeah.
He's not very, like, charismatic. He's kind of vocally charismatic, where he places words that way. But, the action scenes were really good too. I love
always good.
There's always every mode of transportation too. There's always the running scene, the car scene, the boat scene.
There's like a jet ski. They're always on like, or that scene where he's in the plane.
Yeah,
and like he's just like terrified.
I don't need wings.
Yeah, fuck wings. I don't need wings. And like he's just chasing those guys in the car. And I thought that part was it's ridiculous, but it's Bond. You know what I mean? That's a Bond thing for sure.
I'm like he ain't giving up.
No, yeah.
And that's what made me keep watching too. Is like I'm like this movie's so long and I don't know the story too well.
Yeah.
I'm like this is so boring. And then you're like, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah. It almost does like it almost has like that little bit of ridiculousness to it. Then like, and
it needs it though.
Yeah, it needs it
so
much.
See,
that's the thing I think they're missing from like remember the old Bond movies? It was all about like here's the ridiculous gadgets he has. Like everything shoots fucking laser beams for some reason. His watch, his lapel, like his pen.
They didn't do much of that though.
No, and that's the thing about the.
They had like an exploding watch.
That's the thing about the Daniel Craig movies I found so far is I guess that's just a sign of the times. Like in the 90s when it was Pierce Brosnan, it was all about the gadgets and stuff. Whereas like now I guess they kind of wanted to make it more grounded, almost like ground the films in more reality.
More like realistic, like you could see somebody actually doing that.
Yeah, it's not that
it's not that hard.
And the other thing too is it kind of makes it more focused on him being just a super awesome spy instead of like oh, well, he's a super awesome spy, but he's also got all these crazy gadgets and stuff. And
the helicopter scene. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man. Man, we were kind of getting bored for a bit. Me and Gage were watching, and like every time he would kill maybe 3 people, we're like, UAV inbound.
yeah.
And then we're like, oh, he didn't get 7 kills. He steals a helicopter.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
All right. But overall, I think great movie. I mean, I would definitely recommend
hate it. I liked it.
No, I liked it. I would definitely recommend seeing it. I would definitely. The thing is, like, for you, like, I can't believe you went
I'll go back. You know what? To be quite honest, I am going to go back and watch them.
I was just saying,
they're on Netflix.
Honestly, yeah, I think so. But
I'll
honestly, I can't believe you went into that movie without seeing.
I think, you know what? I've seen it on like movie. I've seen it on movie networks and stuff.
No, Casino Royale, Quantum, and then
Quantum Solace and Spectre.
No, Skyfall.
Skyfall and Spectre. Yeah.
So you haven't seen Skyfall?
No, I haven't seen Skyfall.
Skyfall's really good.
I've seen Quantum Solace. I haven't seen Casino
Royale. Casino Royale was really good. Quantum Solace was kind of bad. It's almost the story gets very confusing.
Oh.
You don't know who the bad guys are half the time, and like it goes on. It's once again, it's kind of a long movie where you're just like it drags on and you never know what's going on.
Someone's on his 4th movie already. Holy.
Yeah, it's been 4.
So yeah,
Skyfall was fantastic. It kind of goes back into they get a little bit more of like his background and stuff like that.
Side note, you watched the trailers, right?
Yeah.
There's another Rocky movie coming out called Creed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to see that.
Yeah, so do
We'll talk about that when that
comes out. We'll probably see that and go.
Because I'm excited for that, and the actor looks really good to watch. Plays Creed, Apollo Creed's son.
Is that Michael B. Jordan?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. But I like the fact that the idea for that storyline where it's like he's Apollo Creed's son. He didn't know his dad because he dies in the movies, obviously before.
Pass on the torch, kind of.
Yeah, and like I just like that, like the idea of Rocky training him. That was a really cool idea. We'll definitely see that and talk about that
I'm really excited for that. Now, should we move on? Move on.
Yeah. Actually, leave your comments below. Talk about who you'd like to see as the next Bond, if they're changing the Bond up, or if you'd like to see more Daniel Craig. Next up, we're going to talk about
this little game. You might not know.
Just came out.
Not a big fan. No, I'm kidding.
Fallout 4. Fallout 4. I mean,
it's impossible to hate.
God. I mean, just okay. It's been out for what, like a week now, and like the amount of time.
What do you think? I haven't showered.
Yeah. When was the last time I ate? No, and honestly, that's the thing about this game is like I've had people ask me multiple times like, "Oh, how you like?" You know, it's just like, dude, I can't put this game. How do you not like it? And like, it's almost to the point now where I was avidly excited for Star Wars Battlefront. I'm not buying Battlefront now. I just like, and it's not to detriment, like,
I'm sure it's a good
Battlefront. It looks, and that's the thing is I played the beta. It's fun.
Yeah.
But dude, Fallout, I can't do anything else. Like, just there's something so satisfying, and like, honestly, I can't even say that there's much that they did that's like, it's just more Fallout. Like, it's not like it's a crazy, like the graphics do look nicer.
If you've played Fallout before, you're getting the same Fallout with some upgrades. It's the same thing,
yeah, with some upgrades.
If you haven't played Fallout before, holy shit, you're gonna lose your mind.
Oh yeah, people who've never played Fallout.
I've talked to people, they're like, this game's amazing. How did I not know about 3? I'm like, because you're dumb.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing is like, it's kind of crazy to see that like Fallout 3 did sell okay, but like it's not like a huge.
People didn't really understand it at first. Like, even I had issues where I had a friend playing it, and he was explaining VATS mode to me, and I'm like, what the fuck are you playing? I didn't even know it came out. But then the moment that you realize, you're like, oh, it's made by Bethesda. It's just Oblivion with guns.
Yeah, like, exactly.
You start to get the way the system works, and now with Fallout 4, you're like, well, I played Skyrim, I played the Fallout 3. Yeah. It's going to be a good game, and sure as hell it was.
They've got that pedigree, obviously. But, oh my god, like, just... I spent 20 hours in that game, and I never went to the main quest. And that's something that I friggin' love about those games. I just love the fact that, like, I was doing the Minutemen side quest, I found the Brotherhood of Steel, so I started doing their side quest. I was just clearing out, like, camps and just, like, finding everything I could. I've been upgrading my guns like crazy. The crafting system is amazing.
And kind of abusive.
It can be, yeah, like...
Hi, you ain't got no adhesive.
Man, you ain't got no glue or screws, you're fucked, bro. And that's the
Such a great system, though.
It is. I love the fact that they took the idea of the old Fallout games where it's like, here's a fucking cup and a pen, but like, not in the game where it was like before you would just sell that crap.
You're like, oh, it's garbage.
You're like, oh, here's a spring and here's some plastic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a fucking scope out of this shit. Like, no, and that's
going through buildings and you're like,
yeah, like,
God, where the fuck are the tin cans?
Yeah, I need aluminum cans.
That was me. You were listening to me.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I need some surgery.
You heard me, like, and like when you saw me, I went to that that vendor and I was like, oh my god, this chick has a, what are they called? The big the order.
Oh yeah, the stock orders.
Stock
the shipment orders. Yeah.
The shipment order of adhesive, and I was like, I'm gonna buy it. You're like, dude, it's like $2,000. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. I was like, I don't give a fuck. Everything needs adhesive and screws to upgrade your guns. I'm buying it. And like, I went in and like, I was just like, take all the food I have, take all of the extra stuff I have. I don't care.
I ain't eating this week.
Yeah, I was like, I don't need to eat. I got stim packs. Those will heal me. Like, and no, and like that's the thing is like I find that it's got an addictive nature even to the crafting system. Like I said, like I love the fact that you can tag the items that you need.
Yes, and find them through the world.
And find them through the world. So like, because like I said, screws is one of those things that you need for.
So you need a plastic. You got this, right? You go into your inventory and you just tag it. And every time you find something that contains plastic, it's going to have a little magnifying glass.
The magnifying glass symbol, yeah.
It's great.
It's great. It's honestly, and like it's one of those things that I didn't realize what certain items had in them. Because like I said, like when I was looking, when I tagged screws and adhesive, the adhesive stuff is obvious. It's like duct tape and glue and stuff like that. But like the screws, it'd be like, oh, I didn't realize like desk fans or typewriters or toy cars, they have like the screws in them. So it's like, oh, okay, like you kind of notice the items that you want to be picking up and stuff like that too. I haven't, well, I spent a little bit of time with the actual house creator.
Well, that's
I saw
the
you kind of messing around.
I wanted
with
to bring
it.
that up. It's funny how we played in a group of friends, about 4 or 5 of us,
Yep.
sitting in a party on PlayStation. I was playing on PC. We'll get later into that stuff. But we were playing it, and everyone was doing something completely different.
Completely different.
Yeah, like Frank's going around, he's stealth killing legendary bosses, getting loot. That's mostly what he does, and he finds new locations and stuff like that. I don't really see him questing much, which I could be wrong, but he's probably questing now, but at the time I was watching. Then you have Tanner, who didn't even do anything but do base building.
Just base building.
He was going to settlements. Like, he was showing us pictures. He's got these, like, he was just making some crazy stuff.
Structures that he built and, like, multiple floors. And I was just like, holy man, like, you are really... It's funny, I will tell you this, the funniest line I've heard so far about this game is it's the best Sims game they've ever played. It was a friend of mine that said, like, this is the best Sims game I've ever played. And it was like, that's a hilarious, like, way to put that.
Yeah.
And it's
going to work today,
yeah.
shoot some super mutants.
Yeah, like, it's so funny. But yeah, no, it's true, though. Like, I love the fact that they have it in there, and it's totally unnecessary.
You don't have to do it, yeah.
But you can, and it's totally... Like,
rewarding. It's rewarding.
It's rewarding. It is rewarding. And you do get experience, actually, for building and stuff like that. I thought that was... I didn't realize that until I was putting up my first, like, building with, like, shops and stuff like that. You get experience, yeah, like, as you're placing walls and stuff. And I was like, whoa! I was like, that's kind of cool. Like, it's like crafting guns. Like, you get experience for it.
Now, with the crafting system, one of my issues is it's kind of floppy.
Like, it can be. Snapping buildings together can be a little bit of a nightmare.
They don't let you levitate things either over the ground. Like, they'll have structures you can't move. So they'll have, like, the bridge coming over into Sanctuary. They have those stone corners. I couldn't build 4 wide or 3 wide. It was, like, 1 on each side of these, like, square placements with a gap in between it.
I started, like, and I had cleared out one of the spots where there was a building beforehand, and I tried to just build walls around that. And, like, I started at one spot and started building, and then, like, figured out how to wrap the corner around, and then, like, I literally had to go back and basically do another corner, go this way, do another corner, and then, like, delete all the stuff that I had done here, because it didn't line up.
No.
And then I had to, like, figure out how to, like, I was like, okay, I can line all this up, then I gotta, like, delete these walls, move them, line them up, okay, delete these walls, and then, like, I finally kind of, like, had a whole structure.
Yeah.
But, like, once I did that, it was nice, but, like, it's kind of unfortunate that you can't just do the whole...
It's counterintuitive. I think what they need... Well, I don't understand, because they have these areas that they know you're going to build at, like the lots where the houses used to be where you delete them.
Yeah.
They've got that perfect square. They know you're going to build there, so why didn't they design it so that it fit within the measurements of the blocks? But, I mean... that's not even really the big issue, it's the magnets. The way that everything wants to snap together. You need to have like a left trigger hold that you can unsnap.
Honestly, I mean, even that or, like, if you pick walls, I don't know, like, you know, like, even just to point out the Sims, like, they should have that thing where, like, here's the point, you drag it, and it makes, like, a square. Or a rectangle. Or,
and every certain distance costs more.
Yeah, it costs more material to make it, but like it'd be easier if they had like a thing where it was like, okay, like start here, drag out in this direction, and it makes a box. Yeah. And then you can just put
or even just have items actually blend together. Where they're not a like Forge mode in Halo, where you would just take two items and instead of them stopping here,
you could just meld
them into one item, which is not hard to do.
Yeah,
I mean, because you still have an item cost of how much you can have in that area, how much space, how much memories you allocate to those pieces. So I mean, it's only hurting you, for your next item. And the funny thing with everybody doing their separate thing, I was a power armor person.
And that's the funniest thing. Yeah, no, and that was my next point. What I was going to bring up was I loved how differently everyone was playing the game because like you and Frank were talking about how many suits of power armor you guys had and stuff, and I was like, I think I got like one.
I like wear it. Damn
yeah. Like I was like, I got like 11 power cores. I could do something with them, and like I'm glad I did because the one mission I did, like I popped into a boss that I never would have been able to fight without that power armor on. But like for the most of the game, I've been playing with stealth and like long range rifles, sniper rifles,
which is a good way to play.
Which it's one of those things. I already put points into the perks where you get like extra stealth where you can't be detected and extra, not crit, but like. Yeah, I guess it's critical damage. Yeah, when you sneak attack damage specifically.
Okay, yeah.
I put 2 points in that, so it goes from 2 times damage to 2.5 to 3 times damage. Nice. And like you can get higher up, but like
see, I don't even know about that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's right here.
Yeah,
somewhere.
Yeah.
I took a perk.
It's this one. It's this one.
I took these perks.
No, but like
that one. There.
It's it's one of those like. As soon as I kind of realized that, I was like, I can deal extra damage if I'm sneaking. Half the time the enemies are stupid as fuck, so they're just like, it's like super villains are like, where are you, human?
Have you been doing the stealth kills?
What do you mean?
Do you know about the stealth kills? Frank didn't know about the stealth kills. So if you sneak up behind an enemy,
like the melee kills.
Yeah, where you go behind them and you hit the melee button, you'll actually do like a neck slit. Or like a head knockout or a choke out.
No way.
Yeah. No, Frank
really?
Because Frank is that kind of player. He's like, I'm going to get up close with my knife, I'm going to cut people. So he was doing it, and he'd get up behind them, and he would do a right trigger swing, and he'd hit them, and then get the sneak bonus, but they'd turn around and be like, what the fuck? So instead, I'm like, dude, hit RB. So he goes, shh. And he just looks at me, he's like, fuck?
Yeah, and like, what the fuck? I didn't know that was a thing, because, like I said...
Remember what we just found out maybe like an hour ago? With the doors? You snuck around the window?
Oh, yeah. This guy's been playing for probably twice as long as me.
I've been like 60 hours, I think.
Like, I'm at 25
No, I'm at a day. I'm at 2 days, I think.
No, you were a day and a half, I think.
Let's say 2 days. Well, I played on PS4 first before.
Oh, that's right.
So like 2 days.
So 2 days. But like, I've been playing for about a day. And yeah, I came across a thing on top of a building where it was like a room with windows, but the door was not locked, so I couldn't pick the lock. The door was barred. So I snuck around the window and I see the like little
board of wood stuck inside.
The board of wood stuck, and I was like, I wonder if I can shoot that. And I just like, and the door just swung open, and I was like, I looked over at Borden, and I was kind of just like, yeah! I was like, I fucking did it! And you were like, I didn't even know you could do like, and that's. It's funny, like that's it's such a small little thing, but I love that. I love the fact that I was just like, will it? Yeah, it will. That's sweet. All right.
There's a couple other things along those lines. Like people just today were posting about the dog meat getting into the cryolator box.
That's been a thing since since day one. I think.
But I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like that's a thing that's happening a lot with this game.
Some people at work told me about that same thing. We're like, oh, you can get the best weapon in the game if you just tell dog meat. Because like when you see at the very beginning of the game, he's like, well, I'm coming back for that because it's under a master lockpick or whatever. And people were saying like if you just set the dog on it, he'll just bust open the case and like bring it to you. I mean, I understand
that doesn't really make sense.
It's not. I wouldn't say it's cheating, but like. I don't need to exploit the game. It's just like you've probably seen the things where there's like unlimited caps. You can max out your special.
Oh yeah, and like giving yourself more XP and stuff.
Like like stuff like that where it's like you can do that.
Well, I'm sure there's one that's always been in all the Bethesda games where it's like talk to this guy and get in this dialogue loop and you'll keep getting XP.
You keep getting XP, yeah, exactly.
Stuff like that. Like there's no point for that.
I mean, and that's the thing is like I've talked to a few people that are like, oh yeah, like I did that and got myself a bunch of caps, and I'm like, why? What's the point? Like, I mean, it ruins, in my opinion, this is just me, like, it ruins the game for me. If I max out my character, or if I, like, give myself a million caps or whatever, it ruins the game for me. I like the fact that like those games are basically about surviving off what you can find.
Well, and those kind of people,
everyone's game.
I don't get it. Because I went to PC, I was experiencing some glitches on PS4 and noticed some graphical issues. Like, PS4 is really good. It's better than Xbox One for what I've heard for it's not having...
See, I haven't heard too much about, like, game... Like, you said you heard your first game-breaking bug, right? Was that on console or PC?
It was on everything.
It was on everything?
It was an issue to do with questing. It was a settlement that was in an area, and if you had taken the settlement mod, or settlement quest, it conflicted with the area for some reason, and it would cause a crash to desktop. I think it was PC, actually.
Okay.
But yeah, that's one of them. But I noticed with PS4, I mean, you're getting a good game. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. And the graphics, people complain about them. They're really good on PS4. I'm not going to lie.
It looks fine. It looks
very
fine,
good, and it's fine. On PC, though, if you have that much of an issue with graphics, go get yourself a nice PC because it looks phenomenal.
I saw it. I mean, I will say this. Like, I mean, yeah, I'm playing on PS4. I was watching him play it on PC. It looks better, but, like...
It doesn't impact gameplay.
I was going to say, like, it's one of those... It's like Skyrim. Like, I mean, yeah, I've seen the PC version of Skyrim against the 360 version. The PC version does look better, especially when you put mods on it.
Oh, like, that's a whole different thing.
I was just saying, we'll get into that in a few minutes, but like, it looks, but I mean, like, it's one of those things that, like, yeah, it looks crisper, it looks a little bit nicer, but it's not like, I honestly...
You're not losing anything.
No, and it's not even like, I'm not even going to say it's not even that night and day to me, honestly. It still looks like fucking Fallout.
No,
like,
and it's meant for the picky people, and I'm not going to lie, I'm one of those people.
Yeah, I get it.
It's something I like, but because I'm capable to do it. Now, if I didn't have my PC, and I just had the PS4, would I not go buy the game? No, I'm going to go buy the game.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't impact, and you're not missing anything, but like I said, if you truly have an issue with it, you can fix that problem.
You can fix that problem.
But with some of the glitches, too... on PS4, Olivia, my girlfriend, was experiencing falling through the floor. You saw that.
I did see that. I found, like I was going to say, I was saying to you today, I hadn't come across any bugs or glitches. The first one I came across was that one where I tried to walk into an area and it would, like, deload the surrounding, and I would see stuff off in the distance, and like
you saw through walls, and
but then as soon as I took it was almost like where I was standing was
like an invisible wall or something.
Exactly, because I was hitting a wall, and when I was touching that wall, everything disappeared. Then I'd back up, and it would go back to being refined. And I mean, but I didn't fall through the floor at that point, so that's not even what happened to me.
I'll tell you about another couple of issues I had. I had one where my gun would despawn, so I would be sitting there and I would just have iron sights, and the only way I could fix it was I could either sometimes rapidly tap the right trigger and my gun would come back out.
Oh.
Or I'd have to pull up my pip point and put it back down. Or I'd have to pause menu, put it back up.
Interesting.
Another glitch I had was I was up in a building and I didn't have advanced terminal hacking. So I wanted Nick Valentine, who does terminal hacking for you, to come up with me and hack it. He wouldn't get on the elevator. For the life of him. He would not fucking cooperate. So I'd go up there and I'm like, oh, this is bullshit. Luckily, I'm on PC, so I'm like, I'm just going to pretend he came up with me.
Yeah.
Use call to command, unlock. I'm like, I'm going to try to not do that again. Yeah. You kind of get carried away. I've put on God mode with the jetpack on the power.
I saw that. That was fun. Yeah. I mean, that is, like I said, I wouldn't play... I
don't play it seriously.
No, I can see, like, yeah, you quick save, run through a city, just doing whatever you want in power armor, like you said, with the jetpack and unloaded jetpack and stuff like that. That's fun. I can see that being fun. But, like, once again... It ruins not the story, but it ruins the game when you're like...
When you're doing it all the time.
When you're literally doing it all the time, when you're just like, okay, well, like everything is just one shot, like, nothing's a challenge. Like, honestly, just before we started recording this, I died twice in a row because I'm trying to go through this part in Boston, and twice now, the same super mutant suicider, the guys with the nukes, have just come from up behind me. Like, I don't get any warning at all. It's just like, boom! And I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake. So I stopped, I went back, and I was like, okay, he's coming from... Okay, there he is. I shoot the nuke, he blows up, and I go take another, like, few steps, and a second one came and fucking bombed me, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. But I like that. Like, people have been saying, actually, a lot that they find this one's a lot harder. Especially than the older games.
I find they rely more on your actual first-person skills. because the last games it was more VATS oriented because really like
the shooting was not that good.
The shooting was utterly impossible.
Whereas I do actually, that is one thing I will say to Fallout 4. The shooting's a lot smoother in this game.
Honestly, if it wasn't a Fallout game with these shooting mechanics, it's a really good
shooter. Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing.
Whereas like Fallout 3 in New Vegas were okay shooters.
Like it was made in some college kid's basement. Or something.
But that's why, honestly, that's why they had VATS though. VATS was there to fix the broken gun mechanics, so you could be like, okay, well, if you're really coming to trouble, you can just pick off those shots and like kill the guy.
Well, and I don't really think they knew what they wanted to do with Fallout entirely. I mean, they were taking over another franchise and really giving...
Which was a top-down third-person shooter.
Yeah, so they were trying to figure out how they could do something...
RPG, it's not even a shooter.
They wanted to do something new and everything, and they did set the groundwork to really finish it now. Like, it's refined to the point that, like, this is the definitive Fallout experience right now.
For sure, yeah. Absolutely. Do you think there's going to be the
Obsidian,
New Vegas?
New Vegas, yeah.
Well, I don't know if Obsidian specifically, because I wonder if there's still a little bit of bad taste in their mouth after what happened over the whole New Vegas thing.
I thought they were pleased with Obsidian.
Yes and no. It did well, but apparently there was this whole thing that happened where Obsidian was promised a bonus if it Metacrited over... It was either 80 or 85, and it hit like 79.5 or like 84.5, whatever. Like it was like a half a point or a point below the Metacritic score that they were supposed to hit to get like a huge bonus, and they didn't get it because of that from Bethesda, and it was almost like that's part of it. Now that's a contractual thing, so I mean there
could be legal issues around.
I was going to say that's a contractual thing, so I mean it was obviously they didn't hit that number, but it was kind of one of those things like that's a successful game. That's a really good game. Some people even argue they like New Vegas better than 3. And
in some ways it is.
In some ways it definitely was.
You should be playing both though. If you're truly a fan, just play both.
Oh yeah. But I mean, do you think there will be one of those in a couple of years? Do you think there needs to be one?
Well, it's all going to depend on development time, right? So if they're going to...
DLC, I find.
Yeah, because DLC is going to ride through probably next year and the year following, like they always do.
Seasons pass.
You'll get one early...
You said, what, 5 DLCs or 4?
I don't know.
Or did they say that yet?
Well, if we go off what Skyrim did, you're going to get a couple DLCs this year coming up, near the end of the year, November-ish. You'll probably get one early the year after, maybe one in summer, and that'll be around it. And then they're going to... Most likely there's going to be another Elder Scrolls game coming up years down the road.
I mean, that's
down the road. But what I'm saying is that they may want to bridge that gap between, and that's where they could place a really, like, an easy Fallout, right? Because they have the game engine now.
Which is what they basically did with New Vegas. They gave the game engine to Obsidian.
And just said, make a story, make some new items, and just go.
And just go with it, yeah. And honestly, like I said, it worked out really well. Now, like I said, the main Bethesda studio is working on DLC now for Fallout. But, I mean, if it comes to the point that, they're done the Seasons Pass, they decide that's all the DLC they're going to do, you know there's already a team probably working, like a small team working on the next...
concept art and story.
Doing the next one, the next Elder Scrolls game. But, I mean, like I said, that focus probably isn't going to be there for the whole studio until next year, if not the year after. So, I mean, we're still, like, 5 years down the line for that.
So giving it to another studio would help it bridge that gap, because I loved when New Vegas came out. Not at start, because everyone was kind of like, it's not Bethesda.
It's not Bethesda making it.
And then once the DLC Game of the Year edition came out and you bought it at that point, you got a good deal.
I played it before that, honestly, just because I was like, Fallout, I fucking love Fallout, I'll play more Fallout.
I did a bit.
And I heard actually the DLC for New Vegas was better than the it was some of the best content you could play, just Fallout hands down.
If it was just the game, I would have been happy.
Yeah, it was really good. I had a lot of I played all the DLC for 3. I never did get around to playing the DLC for New Vegas, but everyone that played Dead Money, something Aces. What was the other ones?
There was one where you went to space. It was really fucking awesome. They had these robot aliens, and they took your brain out of your body and your spine out of your body.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You had to retrieve it. It was just awesome.
But the one my friend said was kind of annoying because you get that collar. And you can't go near radios or something, or else your head will explode.
You can't leave the area, and you couldn't even... Once you started that DLC, I think you had to stay there until you were done.
It's kind of like Operation Anchorage was
I get it, but that's kind of a stupid system.
Right. But, still... I've always heard that, as a whole, the DLC for that game
was awesome.
Was amazing, yeah.
And Obsidian knows their RPGs. Because Stick of Truth, man,
And,
like that was
oh
really
my
good.
God.
New Vegas, they proved themselves.
Fractured but whole.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't wait for that game to come out because like.
Well, that might be the other thing though. They may not even want to make the next game.
They might be busy.
Because they were screwed over for the bonus. Because they.
Like I said, I don't know if they were screwed over, but yeah, it's one of those things that I think there might be a little bit of bad taste there.
It might have also been because that 5% could have paid for that bonus.
Yeah.
You know what
that's
I mean?
true. That's true.
Yeah.
No, I think like obviously the game is like I mean we'll see what happens when the DLC's done and if there's still people clamoring for more. I mean,
but
obviously
here's
that comes into the modding community.
Yeah,
right?
I want to bring that up.
I'll let you take that away because you're more on the PC side of things.
Hopefully PS4 gets the modding opportunity that.
Well, they are getting it. They already announced that.
They did announce that PS4 is getting it.
Yeah, they're getting it after Xbox One. So like obviously it's going to.
They're not picking exclusives. Okay.
No, but like it's one of those. They already announced that obviously PC is getting it first, and then Xbox One is getting. Now I don't know if they've explained how it's going to work. Like if you can do all the mods, or if it's just going to be like.
It's going to be highly censored. I know it is.
Well, it is, but like I wonder who they're going to pick. You know what I mean? Like, is there going to be like favored modders? Is there going to be like a list of approved modders?
I'm thinking,
or is it just like everything that's on there you can download?
Here's why I think that Xbox got it first, and I think it has something to do with the whole Windows 10, Steam DirectX kind of thing.
Probably.
I have a feeling.
Well, and they have the console too.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Steam Curator kind of stuff in the Steam Workshop is tied into that mod system.
Maybe, yeah.
Because it's the same system. It's literally going to be like, I like that mod. It's got 5 stars. Everyone reviewed it as good. I'd like to download it and I can donate money.
Yep.
I don't like that system. I don't like the Steam system.
No.
I like the Nexus mod system because it's endorsement honor system based. And a lot of people are like, honor system doesn't work. It does. It totally does because you see how much money these people are making.
Yeah, that's true.
They have every endorsement on it, and I think the endorsements have to be a minimum of something. So they're at least making, like, some of these have like 30,000 endorsements.
Oh, probably, yeah. Well, it's like Twitch, right?
Yeah.
It's the exact same idea of Twitch. Like, people just subscribe and
that's why
tip.
Yeah.
So it's like tipping in Twitch, right?
If you give money to the guy making the mods, he's going to make more mods.
He's going to make better mods. Yeah, exactly.
Because he knows he's going to make money off it.
It's incentive. It's just that's literally how that works.
That's why if we don't get a New Vegas this time around, like not New Vegas, but in a sense,
I wonder, if they're going to do.
It doesn't really matter this time because
storyline mods.
All consoles are going to have story mods. Because if you look back,
that'd be interesting. That's an interesting thought. I mean,
yeah, you won't need it.
Like, I mean, people. I've seen some of the mods for Skyrim. People have made whole storylines.
Fallscar was the DLC that pretty much is considered set DLC. Like modders, when they do graphical and certain mods, they include Fallscar as an actual DLC because it was that good.
Oh.
This guy did a whole thing himself. He actually got hired by Bungie.
No way.
After he wanted a job at Bethesda. Bethesda didn't set him up with a job. Bungie hired him.
Okay.
This guy, he went all out and did a full DLC by himself over like the process of 2 years or something.
It probably took forever.
It was a good DLC. I played it.
Yeah?
It was better than Dawnguard. It was better than Dawnguard, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It had its own, like, everything. It was just so good. And that's
what took place in Skyrim, or did he make his own map?
He made his own map.
Whoa, holy shit.
And it was really good. Like, you would travel there, you would do the same thing you do in all the other DLCs, where you're like, okay, what's going on here? Talk to people at bars and stuff, and then it's like, get into it. Like, it's been a while since I played it. He did an outstanding job. So having something like that, it's even more accessible now with the consoles getting those mods because they can run stuff like that. Because it's just data-based. It's going to be.
Well, I think the fact that like the PS4 and the Xbox One are more quote unquote like computer-based systems now.
You can never do that on 360. But the other issue,
or PS3, considering the fucking cell processors that they had.
The issue I'm worrying about with the mods is you're not going to get everything that PC gets. You're not going to get.
No, of course not.
You're not going to get the crazy graphical mods. You might not even get some of the animations.
I don't know. That's the thing. Like the one thing I'm thinking is they're probably not going to get money in the graphical mods. Maybe some of the texture packs and stuff like that. But you can't push a PS4 and Xbox One as far as you can push a PC. That's just the reality.
No,
right?
you can't. And you can't be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to put 4K textures on literally everything.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to boost my lighting effects so that all this dynamic shadows and shit.
New guns. New weapons,
new quest lines,
like you said, like I think that stuff's going to be really big for the modding community.
If they think they're going to get away with charging for it, without an endorsement system, it's not going to fly.
That's the thing I'm wondering is going to happen on consoles, because on PC, like, there is kind of that, like, but, like, are we paying PlayStation or, like, Microsoft for them through the store?
Here's
or
an idea.
are we... Because, like, now that's the thing, is you get into the thought of, does PlayStation and Microsoft pay the modders a lump sum? They pay them $10,000.
Yeah.
And then they sell it on the store for 99 cents or $1.99, you know what I mean?
Well,
and then...
Here's another idea.
Like, is that how it's going to work? I'm intrigued to see how that's going to work, because if it's free, that's great. If it's not free, I'm wondering who's getting the money.
See, here's the idea. I'm thinking they might do something. I have a feeling that PlayStation is going to tie it into a Plus membership. So if you have a Plus membership, you can download mods. That might be their thing.
Or with Xbox Gold.
Or Xbox Gold. I don't see Xbox doing it because they're more greedy when it comes to that kind of stuff. What I see them doing is, like, you can buy a server membership. It allows you to use their servers to download these mods. Something along those lines. They probably have an idea in the works. All I see happening is what happened with Steam. Most of you probably know about this, but Steam thought they could get away with charging for their mods.
Yeah.
So even modders weren't pleased with it.
Do you remember how fast that went down?
It was like 2 days, and people were like, that's fucking down.
No.
Like, nobody was putting up with that shit, because... Yeah. And the thing is, like, even on Nexus mods, they're not getting much money for it either. I don't know if they fixed that, but there was some talk about, like, they were only getting, like, maybe 50% or 25% of what the income was on it. So if they got, like, a $5 thing, they were getting, like, $2 off it, or $8 off it. Which is still good for the modder. I mean, like, it's a lot of work, but they're getting paid for it.
And yeah, I mean,
modding, it doesn't really have an outlet for that in some places.
It's weird. Modding is such a weird, because, like, it's like you said, like, there was that whole argument when Steam tried to monetize it, and it's like, okay, should these people be getting paid for it? They're doing it in their own time, they're doing it now, but it becomes one of those things, are they doing it for the money, or are they doing it for...
It's longevity, too.
Well...
If you sell a game and say, hey, you can mod Fallout on PC now, everybody's going to go out and say, hey, you know what, I'll just buy an Xbox One or a PS4, and I'm going to mod Fallout. Because that's what I want to do. That's what made me want to get a big computer. It's like, you know what, it would be really cool to mod Skyrim.
Yeah.
And I had a lower-end computer.
Well, consider the fact that people are still, like, we're still playing Skyrim basically till, like, last year, the year before.
I'm still playing it now.
Because of the modding. It
hasn't stopped, honestly.
That's true, and you're right. But it adds such a fresh, and that's what I'm really hopeful with Fallout 4, and especially the fact that I love that, like, when I heard they announced that they're bringing the mods to console, what a great idea. Like,
that opens up an opportunity for so much more.
So much more for your games, and it's one of those, like, modding has been it's PC only. PC is the only one that has the mods,
and it hinders growth when it does that.
Yeah, of course.
Because if you get exclusive games for, like, imagine if Microsoft was like, hey, Halo has mods now.
Yeah,
you're only getting with that system, and that's just a rough example, but I mean, it's good for business.
Or COD.
Yeah.
Imagine if COD had mods.
Play custom maps or custom
exactly.
Camels, but it's a system that needs to be in place. I'm looking forward to how far Fallout's going to get pushed, because if you look at Skyrim's lifespan, early Skyrim is an ugly game. When you see it now, like, I have a really nice computer, and I've like pushed it to the point that it's better than most games now for how it looks.
And that is a
Fallout 4 is going to go past that.
Oh, of course. You know that by the time 2 years from now, it's going to look like a completely different game.
Oh yeah,
like completely different game.
Mod ideas. I wanted to go over that. I'm excited about that. Power armor is going to be a big one.
I'm really looking, like we were talking about before, I'm really looking forward to the first time you get to jump into a Hulkbuster suit, because you know what's happening. I think someone's going to do the Hulk as a suit of power armor, where you run around and it's got, like, fist weapons or something, and you're just smashing stuff.
I'm really looking forward to...
well, you could use the jetpack for the jump. Like, instead of showing the jetpack, you just have the Hulk.
Oh, they'll have their tricks. Modders are very clever.
Very clever with that stuff, right?
I'm looking forward to early, like, Mark 1 Iron Man armor.
Yeah. The really shitty armor from
armored bat suits.
Bat suits would be good, too. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's right. I'm waiting for someone to make, like, a slimmer-looking power armor suit, too.
Like just like an Iron Man suit.
Exactly. Like the Mark...
It'll happen.
Was it the Mark III? The one he's wearing in, like, the first
Mark
movie?
Mark 4, 5, 6,
whatever. But, like, that kind of, like... But, like you said, even, like, a Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Like that kind of, like... I can't wait for someone, like, for the modders, obviously, to, like, take that and, like, gigantic... Because, like, the power armor is very bulky and, like, you know...
I honestly think they could strap the animation to its lowest mesh.
Which is the frame,
Which is the frame. It'll probably work. They'll have ways around it. even funny stuff, like I want to get inside Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, yeah.
Just like get into it, it's like slip into a Slim Jim.
You know someone's going to do something stupid.
It's all going to be stupid.
I was saying to you earlier, like, I can't wait for, like, it's going to be like Skyrim in Fallout mods, where it's like, you're under with a sword, and like, casting magic and stuff like that. Like, somebody's going to do, like...
shooting mini nukes at your head.
Yeah, exactly. Someone's going to do that.
The story mods will be good. The only thing is that I don't know how torn it's always been like Fallout modding is a little different than Skyrim modding. Okay. Fallout modding, when you go and look at New Vegas' top mods and you look at Skyrim's, New Vegas is a lot of guns, a lot of like very bandit looking armor and survival ones. Skyrim's a lot of boobs.
Yeah.
But in a lot of really good
I wonder, like, and that's a question. I mean, the game being M-rated, are they going to allow those kind of mods?
Contents?
Like, I mean, obviously, like on the PC version, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, there you go.
I wonder what kind of censorship they're going to have. Like, not that I care about having nude mods on my fucking Fallout, but like, are they going to allow that shit?
They're either not going to allow it, or they're probably going to require some kind of special membership with a company. Or like you're going to have to sign up for Microsoft mod services or something, and you're going to have to put your age in.
Verify your age and stuff. Well, although your account already verifies your age.
Yeah, I know.
Like if
I'm just saying,
you already have,
they'll probably check.
Like I mean, that was a big problem people have had before with Microsoft, where if you put your son's birthday in as the account for the birthday, try to play Call of Duty, you're not old enough to play this game, it locks you out.
Yeah.
So I mean, there is stuff like family settings are a thing on consoles. I wonder if they're just going to say, like, if you're over 19 or 18 or whatever
I can see it happening now, though. The moment that it's able to be like, see, nobody gives a shit about PC. It's always forgotten. It's always left in the background when it comes to media.
Yeah.
Watch, like, PS4 and Xbox One, the moment that some little fucking shithead 10-year-old ggets titties on his fucking PlayStation, his mom's gonna lose her fucking shit, and the news are gonna be like, Fallout's for perverts!
Yeah,
like, it's just gonna be fucking dumb. Oh, fuck.
And it's going to happen. No, it's going to happen. It's already, like I said, it's
so
already
frustrating.
I mean, the fact that it's already on the PC version is one thing.
But nobody says anything.
Nobody says anything because it's... Yeah, but you're right. I think you're right. Because it's going to be on console, people are going to freak out more because they're going to... Oh my god,
it's the kids' system.
It's mainstream. It's more mainstream. Like you said, there's more...
It's more available to the younger group.
And like you said, it's more likelihood that some 10-year-old fucking kid...
Most 10-year-olds ain't going to install a nude mod probably.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they can't figure that shit out.
Maybe that's what they should do. They should literally...
They should make it super complicated.
Like, they should just honestly be like, here's your mod, it's in a file, you gotta go get yourself WinRAR, and you're gonna have to open it up inside your data folder. The kid's gonna be like,
You gotta get your free trial of WinRAR. You've gotta mount the file. You've got to I want it to be like the most complicated.
It should
process.
Just be like PC. It
okay.
Hook up the keyboard.
It's buried in the folder, and you gotta find the special file. You gotta find this shit. Then you gotta install a different program to run your mods.
Yeah.
But that program isn't complete. Kinda. You kinda gotta install other side programs.
You need TS5 edit.
Yeah, like it's just. I feel like that'd be the best.
Well, and that's the other thing I wanted to bring up, though, is if they're going to allow mods on console, are they going to allow keyboard and mouse support? Because you have to be able to use
console. You
need console commands if you're going to work with
mods.
Because mods don't always work, or sometimes mods conflict. And how are you going to know if they conflict?
And that's why I'm thinking the mods that make it... I think not all mods are going to get over to console.
It's going to be a different system.
I think it's going to be choice mods that have been brutally tested
and that work genres. They're going to be genres. They're going to be like, you're going to go to a body mod section, you're going to go to an armor mod section, you're going to go to armor quests,
texture packs. You're going to,
and they can't contradict. That's what's going. They're going to make it so they don't contradict. They're going to be literally meant for one thing and one thing only. They're not going to be these broad spectrum mods that cover...
Well, it's kind of like Minecraft. Like Minecraft nowadays, if you start a world in Minecraft, you've got like a Skyrim skin, you've got a ancient skin, you've got
It's very simplified.
Yeah, it's very simplified.
I
think it's going to be like that. And like they have character skins now that you can pick from a million of. And I think that's honestly how it's going to go. I think that's just going to be, you're going to have, like you said, you're going to have an option of more guns, And then you can pick like which ones you want. Or there's going to be an option for texture packs. You're going to be, okay, I can choose this theme pack or this theme pack or this theme pack. You can't have multiple ones that's all at the same time because it's going to contradict each other. And then you can have maybe your characters look like this or your characters look like that. And you can choose one from them. I think that's how it's going to run.
How would you feel if they charged you monthly fees to use the mod service?
Ooh, honestly,
I know it's coming. I have that.
Either they're going to monetize it. I don't know. Like, I have a feeling like it's got to be free. They can't overcharge.
It can't be profitable either way, and that's how modding's always been the way it works. I'm talking like Ricky here from Trailer Park Boys. Rocket Appliances. When you get into that, like, modding's always been, you support the site that posts it, and you support the mod that makes it.
That is true.
And that's how they make their money, and that's how they function. You're not supporting a billion-dollar company that just wants to make profit.
Yeah. I have a feeling, like I was talking about before, I have a feeling it's going to be... Modder X makes the mod, and then PlayStation's going to buy the rights for the mod. They're going to give that modder a lump sum of money for their work, and then they're going to monetize it on the store.
Now, what could be another issue is how much you want to bet. Someone makes a mod on PlayStation and they're owned by them. The moment that mod, in any relevance to that other one, shows up on PC, you're going to have legal issues where like Sony's like, we own that mod, and it's like, hey man, he just wanted to put in this scope. It's from this movie, or it's based off this. We want the same thing.
Yeah.
He made it. We didn't make that one. We made this one. There's going to be legal issues. I don't know if it's a good thing for the gaming community.
We'll see. I mean, we just got to wait and see how it plays out, right? I mean,
we'll sure as hell talk about it when it comes out. I'm already modding Fallout 4 as we speak. I put a Sweet FX mod to make the lighting nicer.
Yeah, and it looks nicer.
I got a black Pip-Boy.
The white vault suit.
I got a white vault suit, a blue Brotherhood of Steel undersuit.
Yeah.
I got the Filthy Frank pink guy radio station.
The radio stations. That's so funny.
It's so stupid.
But like, I mean, those are minor mods right now and stuff like that. But
I'm so excited. I have a feeling that as soon as we're just waiting right now for Bethesda to release the creation kit.
The creation kit, yeah.
The moment that lands, it's going to be like a traveling bullet. It's going to be like boom. Like mods are going to be like, holy crap!
Yeah.
It's not like Skyrim, because when Skyrim came out, it was people trying to understand the new system.
Figure out how it's going to work, yeah.
Because it was a nicer system. Fallout modding, it's nicer.
Yeah.
It's so much more...
Well, even I looked into modding, like, back before 4 came out, when they first announced it, I was like, oh, like, maybe I'll go and look into playing 3 or New Vegas on my PC and see how much I can mod it, and...
There's a lot to get into.
There's a lot to get into it. Like, and I know what I needed to do it. I didn't want to do it. Let me put it that way. Like,
it takes longer to mod than it does to play the game.
Yeah. I'm technically savvy enough that I could have, like, when I read about it, I was like, okay, I need to do this, this, and this. And then I thought about it, and I was like, this is going to take me, like...
8 hours.
A couple hours to do. Yeah. Do I really need to play Fallout again? And I'll just wait for 4. Fuck it. Like, it was just one of those things I was like, no, I'll just wait for 4 to come out.
I did. The difference, too, is that knowing how far you can push your system... You were going to do some, like, minor things, most likely, right?
Just some graphical upgrades, a lot of the sky, like, it was a lot of the lighting mods, the character mods, the texture pack mods.
Yeah, when you get into, like, I sat down with Skyrim and a guy had done a Reddit post where he had put a whole, like, 300 plus mods or something.
Holy fuck.
And how to install them. And I've always known how to install them, but I never, it's so much nicer to look off that list. I sat there for, like, 9 hours. Did it all.
Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure my game wiped itself, or the drive wiped itself. So I did it again.
Yeah.
But it's rewarding. It's fun. There's something to be said about just sitting there and modding. Like it's almost a game in itself.
It is. But
it's not for everybody.
I can understand that you find like the fun and kind of just like I get that way too when I get like you're like I'm gonna figure out how to like.
It's like browsing a store.
This. Yeah, exactly.
It's like browsing a store and then trying to put it together.
Yeah.
And then when you get it working, and it's like startup, crash, fuck, fix something, startup, crash, fuck,
yeah,
startup,
yeah.
Yes, I did it! Like,
yeah, you can't have these 2 mods. Oh, if I run this mod at the same time as this mod, it fucks it up. Okay, I gotta turn.
And that's something you learn over time.
Yeah.
Because I've gotten pretty good with it.
Yeah.
I know where to look now, and that's why I'm excited with Fallout. I would like to mod it.
So
I don't know if I would do...
That's the thing I'm excited about the console, as I feel like they're going to make it super simple. Because with console players, like they're going to have to be like, here's the mod, press the X button.
I don't understand.
Do I press the X button, or do I not press the... No. And because honestly,
it has to be for retards.
It's got to be my first fucking mod book. Like, it's just got to be like that simple. It's
modding for children.
Yeah, modding for dummies. Like, it's got to be super, super simple.
Children are dummies.
Yeah. No, like I said, it's got to be that way because like the console.
This service is dumb. I can't
console people just they don't want like they're not.
There's no patience.
Half that's like most console people are not PC players.
It takes a mindset.
It takes a very specific mindset to want to learn how to mod.
Oh, it took me years. I mean, I sat there.
They just got to do it. They got to do it very simply, and I think that's what they're going to do. I think, like I said, it's going to be you buy this pet texture pack, you install it, you press activate or whatever.
You put your credit card in. You put your
yeah, and that's the thing. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I think they're going to sell it. I think they're honestly.
There's the only way they would do it.
It's going to be paid for.
Microsoft does not do fan service.
Yeah.
Unless it's profitable.
It's true.
Backwards compatibility, they're making money off that somehow.
Oh, somehow, yeah.
Just to sell consoles, probably.
That's what they're doing. I was just saying, the backwards compatibility was to
I gotta
sell
check that out,
consoles.
by the way. I was thinking about putting Fallout 3 into the Xbox One and seeing how it goes.
Apparently, I was reading an article, it runs very smoothly on the Xbox One. Like, it's, like, I think more so than anything, it's just because of the fact that, like, you're emulating with something that just has inherently better hardware than the 360 did.
Here's what bothers me, though, is that it's kind of convenient how they were able to do it. But
yeah.
they weren't able to do it when the system
Oh, yeah, like, this is impossible. It's never going to happen. Oh, by the way, we figured it out.
By the way, since our consoles weren't selling, we can play old games now because we haven't made any good ones.
I think, though, that cost them money. I honestly think it did. I think they weren't lying. I honestly do think they weren't lying when they first launched that system and they said it's not going to be backwards compatible. We can't figure that out. We can't do it. They spent money to figure out how to do it, and to
they've done a good job.
To their praise, like it's selling consoles, which I hate because every fucking time I sell a console, I'm always telling people like, listen.
He works at a game store.
I work at a game store. You're not gonna play your old fucking games. Every time I sell a new console, they're like, oh, does it play my old games? I'm like, no, but it plays every fucking new game that's gonna come out. Backwards compatibility is the dumbest thing I'm actually really glad that I'm on PlayStation, and I'm glad that Sony was basically like, no, we're not doing it. Like, don't ask us again, basically. We're not playing, like, they basically said, good on Microsoft for figuring it out, but we're gonna put our money towards other stuff that fucking matters. Mm-hmm. Like, honestly. Like,
if you want older games, you can get them on PC. You can get the old systems. Go buy yourself a 360. They were on for $50 the one day.
Do you know when the last time I turned on my 360 and my PS3? 2 fucking years ago, when I bought my PS4. Well, I haven't played anything. I don't want to play anything on my PS3 or my 360. To the point where, like, when Assassin's Creed Rogue came out, it was like, oh, it's only on 360 and PS3, and I was like, nah, fuck it. I was like, I just don't want to play that game. I don't want to fucking dust off the PS3 and fucking bring it out. I just don't care.
There is times I want to go back. If now, to be quite honest, with Xbox having backwards compatibility, I don't need to go back anymore because literally the only thing I wanted for my Xbox was to be able to play my old Halo games, which we got Master Chief Collection. Which I wanted Halo Wars and Halo Reach. I wanted.
Yeah.
Gears of War stuff would be nice, but I mean, there's just, but you go buy the system. Like if you really want that bad, I think those people really need to wait till the games start dropping around $20 and the system's beneficial to them because I don't think it's that they want to play old games. I think they're just cheap. They don't want to pay.
They don't want to pay.
Well, which is all in no fairness.
I get that. The games are expensive right now, but to be like I said, to be honest, like it's just one of those things. You've already had these games. You've already played these games. Why? Like you're buying a new console to play the stuff that's exclusive to that console. You know what I mean? Like I bought a PS4 to play the games that I couldn't play on PS3 and 360, so I could play them on PS4. So that's what I did. Like you know what I mean?
It was a good choice.
And like. It's so frustrating to me when people are like, oh, well, I don't know, like, I've got all these PS3 games that I have, and I don't want to, like, move on. I'm like, dude, fucking move on. You know how many
it's not moving on, though. If they keep their system, how's it moving on? We've already left them.
I know.
The games are going to play on their system, so, like, why are you concerned, like, oh, well, if I go buy a new system, that's when it's dead, and all those games don't work? No, the system's still there. You're already screwed, because they've already moved on.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm glad that with games like Batman Arkham Knight and games like Fallout,
They're
like, you know what? Fuck this. We're not staying behind because it's not working anymore.
Funny enough, actually, this is a perfect point. I had a conversation with a customer today about the fact that he's like, oh, I want to pre-order Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 on the PS3. And I was like, dude, it's not coming out. And he's like, what do you mean? I just went on your website and it said it's coming out December 31st. And I was like, that's a placeholder date, first of all. And who's it made? Activision?
I think so, yeah.
Activision put out a statement saying listen, the Xbox One and PS4 version is so fucking broken, we need to focus on doing that, and we're going to put aside the PS3 and 360 version to just, maybe work on this one until it works. You know what games they said were going to be coming to 360 and PS3? Dying Light. Didn't happen. Evolve. Didn't happen. Fucking...
Titanfall came mutated.
Titanfall was a terrible...
the same game. Black Ops 3 just got no story.
Oh, yeah. Black Ops 3 is a perfect example. Have you seen the graphical comparisons?
No.
Oh my god. It's fucking day and night.
It's like Destiny on the old systems, too.
No, it's
worse.
Bad. Oh. They showed a side... IGN did the video. You can go and look it up. I would honestly recommend looking it up just to see the difference. It is night and day when they show, here's the shot, here's the Xbox One, here's the 360 version. There's, set pieces missing. The textures look like fucking garbage. I mean... there's no campaign.
Yeah.
It's online multiplayer only. Because I had people return the game because...
They can't play it at home by themselves.
You can't play anything at home by yourself. They're like, oh, well, I can still do zombies, right? Split screen. I'm like, no, you can't. It's online only. That is it. And
which sucks because it was a pretty good Black Ops. I mean, the zombies was fun.
And that's a big thing. But you know what? They weren't going to... I don't know if you're aware of this. I don't know if you're aware of this. They weren't going to put that version out.
Oh.
360 and PS3 was an afterthought a couple months ago when they were like, oh, well, it's only coming out. Because, when you look at the original launch trailers for that game, Xbox One, PS4, PC. PC, I guess.
Yeah.
No mention of 360 or PS3. It wasn't until later on when people were like, are you putting it on PS3? And they're like, no.
Some guy in their office was like, hey, look, I ran it on really low.
Yeah, no, and I think there was just obviously an uproar of people who still haven't made the upgrade yet, which... I honestly get it. It's a little bit of an expensive bump. I mean, now's the time to do it anyway, because you're getting to the point where I think I looked at the list of upcoming games for the PS3 and 360 this year, and there's 6 games coming out. Marvel Lego Avengers.
Let me guess. Some sports game?
Some sports fucking game. And some other crap that's coming out. Everything that's coming out now is coming out from... It's unfortunate that I have to say it like this, but it's over. The 360 and the PS3 generation's over.
It's still there. You can still go play it, but they shouldn't be in it.
Yeah,
they're not
making games for you anymore.
It's a waste to innovate on an old system.
Yeah.
We need to start pushing PS4 and Xbox One past their boundaries, which they've already reached the roof of their boundaries with some of these games.
Who knows what they're going to do with these
They need to figure this. I don't know if the consoles are going to last that long, past 5 years, just because, PS4 is running better, but Xbox One is lagging behind. I think that's why they went with the backwards compatibility to try to sell some extra...
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how long the life cycle ends or goes for this console. These consoles.
They'll figure something out. They'll have something they can do to make it better. But all in all, it's nice that games like Fallout are a gem, and they come out and they make us think about this stuff that not other games bring out.
Of course, yeah.
I'm still loving it. We're still going to be playing this a month from now.
I was going to say, we're still going to be playing, like I said, Battlefront's coming out this week, and I honestly don't think I'm going to buy it. Just because it's one of those...
I'm not too excited. I'm excited because I know it's going to be a fun game. I'm not excited because EA runs it.
Fuck, did you hear how much the Seasons Pass was?
Probably this much as the game.
It's $70.
Holy fuck.
$70 fucking Seasons Passes. Are you kidding me? That is ridiculous.
Stop buying that stuff, okay? Just stop and we can make the game a little better.
Oh my god. That is the... I mean, honestly... To the point of I don't know if I could ever... I can't spend that much on one game, you know what I mean?
I could for Fallout.
Yeah, but a game like Battlefield, I guess, or Battlefront, whatever. I've bought those Seasons Passes before for Battlefront, and I always find I get the first few map packs in, and then I never play the last 2. I think 3 and 4 I didn't play the last 2 map packs.
My other issue is too with EA games, and I don't know if other people experience this. Put in the comments if you do. Their servers are shit.
Yeah,
they're garbage. I have good internet, and I can never connect to my friends.
Yeah.
I always get kicked off. I could never find a match. The beta was overpopulated.
Yeah.
The game's probably better, but I mean, they always cheap out on their servers. It's been like that since like 2004.
Since they started with the
I remember back in
something,
Mercenaries 2 having issues and fuck.
But I mean, hopefully we'll actually get a bit of time to maybe touch on Star Wars so we can actually talk about it in the show.
Next week's topic, we'll surprise you. How about that?
Yeah, we will.
I'm sure we'll come up with something.
Yeah, because we're not making this up as we go.
We have a very detailed plan for the next 20 minutes.
Plan.
Talk about stuff.
Yeah, okay. All right, I think that's going to be just about it for our very first episode. First episode. Yeah. Technical difficulties aside, this is the first one going up. I think we've recorded 3 episodes before that. Right now we're just running into issues with, obviously, editing.
We've never done this before.
Yeah, we've never done this before. Obviously, we're kind of amateurs with it. But this one's going up, and you'll see us next week. I think, what are we going to do? Are we going to set it for... Do we want to try and upload it tomorrow? So maybe Tuesdays?
Tuesdays kind of sound good.
Okay, so yeah. Hopefully, I mean, if you're on the Facebook, or like us on Facebook, Up at Night Podcast, you can find us on there. You can find us on Twitter and everything like that. We'll put the links below the video. Comment on the video if you like it. Share it with your friends, please. We need to get our names out there. We need to get more people like you to
we just want you to come and listen.
Yeah, I mean, just come hang out. If you guys have any ideas for anything you want us to talk about, even if it's old or new stuff, I mean, we don't necessarily always have to do Topic of the Week being the newest game. We might talk about
whatever you want.
Or not even video games. I mean, we're going to talk about what we like. So, I mean, we're probably going to hear stuff. Like I said, we talked about Spectre for the first 20 minutes of video.
I don't even watch Spectre. I was here. It was out of Blu-ray. Hey, we should talk about Spectre. Did you see that? I'm like, yes, I did.
Yes, I did. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Like, I mean, we might talk about maybe an upcoming movie or some comic books or, like I said,
music.
Music even, yeah.
I'm a big music guy.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. So, yeah, like I said, just comment below, like, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Find us on Facebook. You can find all of our social media outlets in the links below.
I'm a Spectre.
You're a Spectre.
I'm an agent of the internet. You cannot find me.
We're like ghosts.
We're like, yeah.
All right, well...
we're going to get back to playing with these.
Yeah, he's Borden. I think.
I'm a ghost, I told you.
You're like an internet ghost. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.